There's something tragically ironic about the fact that in a world overflowing with plush memory foam mattresses, high-tech white noise machines, and lavender-scented everything, people still aren't sleeping. Not enough, not well, and certainly not long enough. The 8-hour sleep goal, so iconic it might as well be engraved on the inside of every wellness influencer's eyelids, is becoming less of a benchmark and more of a mythical creature. Like a unicorn, but with a circadian rhythm. The modern adult, fueled by caffeine and questionable coping strategies, is running on fumes, and the consequences aren't just dark under-eye circles and the occasional grumpy morning. They're systemic, global, and quietly devastating. Let's begin with the obvious. Chronic sleep deprivation is eating away at human health like termites in a wooden house. Most adults aren't skimping on sleep because they're rebellious night owls living their best lives. They're doing it because work, stress, digital screens, and sometimes even good old-fashioned insomnia have taken the wheel. The result? Cardiovascular disease risk skyrockets. Blood pressure stays elevated longer after daily stressors. The appetite hormone ghrelin ramps up, while the satiety hormone leptin slinks away into the shadows, making late-night fridge raids not just likely, but practically inevitable. And, of course, the immune system becomes about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Want to catch a cold? Try sleeping 5 hours a night and hanging around toddlers. Guaranteed results. There's also the subtle, more sinister cognitive toll. A well-rested brain is a finely tuned orchestra. A sleep-deprived brain, on the other hand, is like a garage band where the drummer is drunk, the guitarist is playing a different song, and the lead singer keeps forgetting the lyrics. Attention span shrinks, working memory falters, and decision-making becomes so poor that people begin to resemble the protagonists of horror movies, making choices that are clearly going to end badly. Microsleeps, tiny, involuntary naps that last seconds, can happen without warning, even while driving. Yes, that's right. We have collectively reached a point where adults are so tired they are unconsciously dozing off while operating vehicles. If sleep deprivation had a PR campaign, it would need to issue daily apologies. And yet, despite all this, many wear their lack of sleep like a badge of honor. Especially in countries like the United States, South Korea, and Japan, where overwork is so normalized that functioning on 4 hours of sleep is treated less like a health hazard and more like a productivity flex. Meanwhile, countries like Finland or the Netherlands tend to prioritize sleep more sensibly, and not coincidentally, they rank higher on happiness and cognitive performance indices. The lesson here? You can't hustle your way out of biology. You can try, but eventually your brain and body will unionize and go on strike, usually in the form of burnout, illness, or a total emotional collapse over a broken coffee machine. Let's not overlook emotional regulation either. Sleep and mood are intimately connected. Miss out on sleep, and suddenly the world seems like a personally curated horror show. People become more irritable, more anxious, more likely to catastrophize every minor inconvenience. That annoying email from your boss? Suddenly, it feels like an act of psychological warfare. That forgotten laundry? Proof your life is in shambles. Chronic sleep debt magnifies everything. It turns normal human interactions into emotional landmines. Relationships suffer. Parenting suffers. And if you're in customer service, well, may the odds be ever in your favor. Of course, the tech world has entered the chat, and instead of just telling us to go to sleep, it's offered us apps, wearables, sleep trackers, smart pillows, and even AI-generated lullabies. But there's a grim twist. Obsessively monitoring your sleep can make it worse. Sleep performance anxiety is now a thing. People are literally stressing themselves out trying to optimize something that, by nature, requires relaxation and letting go. It's like trying to fall asleep by force. Spoiler, it doesn't work. And it often ends with you staring at your ceiling at 2 a.m., mentally reviewing your entire life and wondering if maybe that third espresso at 4 p.m. was a mistake. It was. We've also reached a stage where people schedule sleep like it's a side hustle. I'll catch up on the weekend, they say. Sleep debt, though, doesn't really work like a bank. You can't deprive yourself all week and expect 2 10-hour naps on Saturday and Sunday to undo the biological wear and tear. The inflammation is still there. The cognitive lag remains. Your body is still quietly judging you, like a tired but disappointed parent. So, where do we go from here? It's not about getting 8 hours once in a while. It's about making consistent, high-quality sleep a non-negotiable. That means putting down the phone, resisting the siren song of just one more episode, and accepting that we are not, in fact, robots. Sleep isn't optional. It isn't a luxury. It's foundational. A sleep-deprived society is a slower, sadder, sicker society, and we're already seeing the effects. And if you're still reading this at 3 a.m., consider this your final warning. The bags under your eyes are not designer. Your immune system has left the chat. And your brain? It's filing for divorce. Go to bed.